Yo. Y'all already know what time it is. It's Drunk Sports Talk. You know how we kick it off every single episode with a little salud, un trago. You know what I mean for all you Hispanics and shit. We're gonna take some shots right now, and this shot is going out to the Knicks because they bowling their hearts out, but they need some help. But they've been winning some games. We're gonna get into that later. We disappeared for a minute, but we back. All three of us are all back. You know what I mean? Yo, salute to my G's, man.
Let's go. Salute. Oh, and guess what I bring back? I bring back the hand dog.
With the Henny back. I forgot to get my shot there. That's how I had a sore time. But anyway, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the new #1 sports talk show. We are the voice of the streets, Drunk Sports Talk. Allow me to reintroduce myself. It's your boy Cash. And I got my brothers Q and my brother Ed Television rocking with me. What's going on, y'all?
Yo, chilling.
Yeah, man, back like good crack. It feels good to be together again, man.
Rocking the Drunk Sports fitted, you know what I mean?
That's fire. I'm rocking. We talking football later, so I gotta rock the Giants. I haven't rocked the Giant game this year.
That's because you a closet Jet fan, bro.
Yeah, hey, I did rock a lot of Jet shit this year. I'm like, you know what? Let me break out the Giants, bro.
We got merch on deck, so if you like that Drunk Sports Talk fitted or the snap, make sure you get ready to cop one of those when we put them out there, man. But yo, man, like you said, it's been a couple of weeks. Shout out to our last guest, Chris Childs, legendary Knicks point guard, Chris Childs, man. We want to thank him and give him his flowers. That was a legendary episode. Gave us a lot of great stories. A lot of gems. We talked past Knicks. We talked present Knicks. We talked future Knicks. We talked a lot of Knick talk, man. So shout out to him, man. Like we said on the air, those '90s teams meant a lot to us, man. In the town, in the city, man. It was very special, very nostalgic. Running down memory lane with him. So, Chris Childs, salute. Hopefully, get him back on, and we'll get you some. We're gonna have some more guests in the future, but for now. Let's talk that talk. Let's talk that barbershop talk, man.
Let's get it.
Let's get into the Knicks, man, because throughout it all this year, we've been saying this from the beginning, right? We've been saying Mets let us down, Yankees let us down, Giants let us down, Jets let us down. Now Buffalo has let us down.
Oh man.
Knicks has been holding us down.
The only light at the tunnel, bro.
The Knicks off the real this year, man.
Listen. We ran through this, but let's run through it again, man. OG Anunoby trade for Quick and RJ, right? Heartbreaking to some. I think heartbreaking to all, but I think a lot of us saw the silver lining, in the trade. And we were one of the first people to say, us on Drunk Sports, this is going to allow spacing, right? We've been very big on spacing from last year when the podcast started. And I heard now you're starting to hear like all these guys talk about spacing. I heard Thibodeau last night talk about spacing. That's why the Knicks looks so much better. Yes. Listen, with all that being said, they're 10-2, I believe, since the OG trade. They've been rolling. They squeaked a couple of them out, against the Wizards and the Nets, and a couple of good wins, couple of got a little nervous on some of them, but overall they've been playing really good. They look very good. Even when RJ and Quick came back to the Garden, they look good. They handled their business. I actually lost some money on that parlay. I think Q was at the crib when he did that. Before we go into it, Ragu, second in the league in 3-point shooting. What a fucking pickup, right? What did we say last year? We said spacing. We said 3-point shooting, right? Props to Leon Rose. Got to give him some props. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Ed, I'm going to go to you first. It's been about 3 weeks since the world has heard you talk, man. What about the Knicks and where they at right now?
Yo, first, before I start talking, I want to give a shout out to y'all. That episode y'all did with Chris Childs was an amazing episode. Amazing. You guys killed it. I had to hold it down and go to work, but you guys nailed it. I loved it. I watched it over 20 times. I could watch it 20 times more. That's how great it was. But shout out to y'all. But let's talk to the Knicks.
Shout out to Lucchini with all the dope comments on the show.
Shout out to my guy Lucchini too. But let's talk about these Knicks. These Knicks are playing fantastic since the OG trade. Like you said, 10-2. OG is averaging 14.5, 5.2 rebounds, 50% from the field. You know, they're 20-1 against teams that are under 500 this season. That's a big thing for the Knicks. Like beating teams they're supposed to beat, and that was number one for me. We got one of the most dynamic duos in the league right now. Like I'm gonna jump out the window. I know it's been a while since y'all heard me say that, but I'm jumping out already. You know, in the beginning segment, 2 guys averaging 30 plus points, you know, per month. There's only a couple people in the league right now that's averaging. What was it? What was the stat I saw? There's only NBA teammates averaging 24 points per game. And the list is LeBron and AD, Giannis and Lillard, Booker and KD, Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, and Randall and JB. Like, we up there, man. And they're not showing the Knicks no respect right now. Like, especially the way these 2 guys are balling, they're not showing the Knicks respect right now. Like, they both in top 10 in the most points scored this season, NBA season. JB's 4th. And Randall is 8th, and they still not showing these guys no love. Everybody's, I know a couple people I've been talking to still mad over, trading for OG. They don't see the OG effect in the long run. I'm like, yo, he's first in defensive rating since he joined the Knicks. He's a plus 73, the highest rating in his first 10 games with any team, anybody in NBA history. Like, yeah. Look at we said in the beginning of the season, we didn't see how Dante was fitting after we got him. Since the trade, Dante is shooting 43% from 3, a 90th percentile, 55 from the corner 3, 95th percentile. Like, come on now, what else do y'all want? What else do y'all want, bro? I'm loving these Knicks, man.
Yeah, loving these Knicks, man. Q, what do you think?
I'm loving it, but it's scaring me. You know, because the East is on the map, man. Like, yo, the East is back to what it was in the 90s, man. Like, there's so many good teams, and these guys is just everybody's arming up right now, and the Knicks still need another piece because we saw what happened when Brunson sat out those 2 games. You know, it's too much for just Randall or anybody. You know, and the bench isn't even acting. There was a game where they had 7 bench points. Like, that's pathetic, man. And I'm afraid if we don't get something by the trade deadline, Tibbs is going to run into his same ways and run these guys down to the floor. And by the time it comes to the playoffs, these dudes are going to be tired, hopefully then possibly injured. Who knows at that point? But we need to hurry up and get another piece because, you know, Hart scored 6 points against the Nets. You know, I understand he's a defensive prowler, but we can't be having, you know, we need at least a solid 15 a game, you know, from somebody that's going to really put us over the top, because if Brunson has an off night, scores 15, or Randall has an off night and scores 15, we got to get that other 15 from somebody else. And that's what's really going to scare me when it comes down the line. We definitely know that we're going to make the playoffs. We know we play with all our heart and soul, and, you know, they leave it all on the field, man, on the court when they playing these guys. And, you know, the defense, we can see what's happening, but we still need something, you know. And before it was just that we needed one piece, but we got that one piece, not realizing we lost some pieces. So now we really needed 2 pieces.
Yo, I normally have clips ready. Today I want to apologize because I had a Woj clip, but I forgot to upload it. But I'm going to play it straight off my phone. I want you to hear what he said about the Knicks and the looming trade deadline that's coming up. Hold on.
All-NBA level player that very likely would be in this offseason. That player's not available now. But certainly players like Bruce Brown in Toronto now, Alec Burks, Jordan Clarkson in Utah. The Knicks have the assets. They have an expiring contract in Evan Fournier to be able to do a trade in the short term with some bench help going into the postseason without compromising themselves on going big game hunting in the offseason.
So basically, the beginning got cut off. Basically, he said, we're not getting no big dogs. We're not going big game hunting this year. We're positioning ourselves, you know, for the summer to go after another big time all-star, which I believe all signs point to Donovan Mitchell, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're really studying this and you're looking at this and you're looking at the politics behind this and the business behind this, the whole Leon Rose CAA, they're positioning themselves to get, you know, Spider. But in the meantime, like you said, we do need some bench help.
Yeah, we do.
Jordan Clarkson, I like. You mentioned
Jordan Clarkson,
Bruce Brown. I really don't want Bruce Brown.
I keep hearing that. No disrespect. I'm not really big on that. I want Brogdon. I hope we bring Brogdon in here. Go negotiate with the Trailblazers. I think he's a perfect fit coming off that bench. He's the sixth man of the year award. He can score off the dribble. He can shoot. He's aggressive.
If they need him to start, he could start. You know,
I think if we could get him, perfect fit. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. Even though y'all said y'all don't like Bruce Brown. I like Bruce Brown because he's a dog. You know, he's a dog. And he flat out said the last game when we beat Toronto, when he was on that team already, because he recently got traded from Indiana, he said, I'm a dog. I play extremely hard on both ends of the floor. I could do anything that Tom Thibodeau wants me to do. So he flat out say he wants to be a New York Knick, that he won't mind. But the thing I would say is that him and Josh Hart are very similar. So we don't need another Josh Hart. You know what I mean? I feel like we do need like a Jordan Clarkson. I would love Malcolm Brogdon.
Need a bucket, bro, off that bench.
Yeah, they were even talking about I've been hearing a lot of rumbles and a lot of rumors that DeJounte Murray is going to be a hard bargain to get, because he's a clutch sports guy. Yeah. Asking too much for him. You know what I mean? I have been hearing about Alec Burks, former Knick too. He balled out with us as a vet to come off the bench. I like him, but
essentially have to give Detroit the pick back they gave us in the Alec Burke trade, which is cool. I wouldn't mind Alec Burke. Alec Burke like a little microwave and all that, but I think Bruce Brown is cool. I just don't think. I think we need a little bit more punch. He's a tough dude. He's a good player, man. But if you ask me, we got to go get Brogdon.
I think Brogdon too.
Yeah, Brogdon and Clarkson. I think those two. Those two would definitely be an addition.
I don't see
Murray.
Murray coming here.
I don't see Murray here.
Like him to come here, but to me, all signs point to Donovan Mitchell. You know what I'm saying?
I think they would have pulled the trigger already if we really wanted to get DeJounte Murray. And I think and what we've seen in the past with the Knicks, they're not being aggressive. They're being really smart with what they're doing, and they're being really patient. And I don't see them just jumping the gun just to get DeJounte Murray. I think they would just rather just get somebody to come into the bench, score 15 points, and then go for the top dog.
I like
and wait it out.
I
like Murray too.
But the thing to jump on Q's point, he made a great point. This is not the Knicks of old. They would have gave up the half of the bench for Murray just to get him now. Or to go all out now. So I like the direction they've been going for a while. The last two trades, the last two trade deadlines, we won those trades. Like, you know what I mean? If you look at the record, when we got Josh Hart, we went what, 9-0 with Josh Hart. With Obi, we're 10-2. Like, come on now. We won the last two trade deadlines. If we add one guy just to be on the bench, like a Brogdon, like a Burks, I feel like, mostly I'm leaning towards Brogdon. That'll be a great addition for us. He's averaging 14.7, 5 assists a game, 40% from three. That's awesome. I feel like we could use him and he'll be magical for us. But a name that I've been hearing drop a lot, even though we'll probably have to, go ham for him, I really like Jordan Clarkson, bro. I really like that kid. He's averaging 17 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds, 41% from the field, 36% from three. But he could ball out, man. I really like that kid too.
I fuck with him. I fuck with him, but like I said, my pick would be Brogdon, man. I just think he fits. I just think he's a seamless fit. I could be wrong.
Yeah, no, I think you're 100% right. I think he fits perfectly with the system, and then he replaces our former 6-man that everybody thought he should have won 6-man last year in IQ. So if we get the guy who won the award over him, that's a big plus for us, man. Big plus.
Yeah. I wonder why Utah wants to get rid of Clarkson.
I mean, Utah. I've been hearing that they're trying to blow up the whole team. Kenny Olynyk, they even got marketing out there and trade rumors.
I know, but that's a little. Didn't they just blow the whole team up pretty much already? Like they're gonna.
They got rid of their 2 big stars in Donovan Mitchell and now they're gonna do it all over again.
Yeah. So.
I don't know what to do.
Huh?
Olynyk's on the trade rumor block?
Yeah, even on the Knicks radar. He's been on the Knicks radar for a while, and even more now, because I read our little report, even more now, they were talking about Colin Sexton and Olynyk to the Knicks, because now, Hartenstein, now he hurt with an Achilles injury. And, that's another loss for us. We're already
last night.
He had 4 blocks. I can't lie. I like those blocks.
Your man was starting and shit. What I mean?
Yeah, I probably didn't even watch the game last night. I can't lie because he was starting. I was like, no, I thought we was gonna take this L. But that was a home game for us. If you watch the game, that was a home game. I felt bad for Brooklyn, but that was a home game for us, bro.
Yeah, it was a home game. What's the turnaround time? So what's the time on what are they saying on Hartenstein?
I really didn't get too deep. I just saw that they downgraded it to an Achilles, like some type of Achilles injury. I can't really pronounce the name of the Achilles injury, but that's a big blow for the Knicks losing Hartenstein, man. Hartenstein, he's out.
We even had Chris Giles on the Hartenstein.
Oh, yeah, we need a trademark that. Put it on the shirt.
Hartenstein.
When he said that, I started laughing. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about, baby.
Yeah, because it's gonna be we're gonna be in so much more trouble. If we definitely need to get Mitchell Robinson back immediately because Hartenstein was kind of, he was filling that nice little role, man. But we don't got both of them. Jesus.
You know what I mean? Hartenstein is leading the league. Last time I read, he was leading the league in blocks already this year in 2024. He's averaging 12 rebounds for us, almost 13 rebounds. Almost 2 blocks and a steal a game. 2 blocks and a steal a game. Like, come on. He's the NBA leader in plus minus this year in 100 plus 125 for us. Number 1, bro. Number 1.
He's like that. Right here.
Yeah, man. He's gonna get. This is the bag year for him, bro. This is the bag, so we gotta pay him. We need him, bro.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
Man. I don't have to make a decision with him and Mitch, man, because I don't see both of them.
I would love to.
I think we're gonna lose Hartenstein, man. I don't know unless we pay him.
We signed Mitch,
huh?
Didn't we just sign Mitch? You know what I mean? Like, I don't see them signing Hartenstein.
We're also talking about trading him too. So I mean, no players,
Yeah, they came into the season talking about. Yeah, you're right. They came into the season talking about trading him. They just wanted like 2 first-round picks for Mitch.
Hartenstein's gonna want. He even said it too. When I think a couple of weeks ago they asked him like, what's your future with the Knicks? He's like, I love playing here, but basically said business is business. So we'll see what happens. I mean, gun in my head, I think we lose Hartenstein at the end of the year, but that worries me because Mitch is injury prone. But
yeah.
We'll see, man. Leon, I'm gonna give Leon Rose some a little bit of slack because I think he's been making some great moves. You know what I'm saying? We said the DiVincenzo move, the OG Anunoby move, all the little fringe moves on outsides and shit. He's been making really good moves. So I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. And we'll see what he does. But I do know that the East has gotten better. Siakam went to the Pacers. He got Rozier. Looks like Doc is going to go up to Milwaukee. We're going to talk about that in a minute, but I just know that they need the East has gotten exponentially better. So I think we need to make a move at some point. You know what I'm saying? Real soon. So
yo,
it's gonna be a problem, man.
That is insane because the Knicks have like the 10th easiest remaining schedule, right, and the most home games. So this is going to be a great second half of the year for us, especially if we add, like you guys say, if we add that other 15-plus point.
We have no choice. We need something off the bench, like you said. It's glaring. It's a gaping, glaring hole. Pause.
Yeah, man. No. You're absolutely right. I read a stat that the bench in the last 3 games, they didn't even reach up 50 points. In the one game, what game was it that they had 7 points? There was only 2 guys. One had
I think that was the Wizards game.
Yeah, one guy had 5, the other guy had 2. I'm like, what the hell, bro? And everybody is 0. I'm like, yo, we barely won that game, and it was all for Brunson and Julius, bro.
Yeah, but then they're playing like 38 minutes, 40 minutes, like that. Yo, man,
he only sat down like 2 minutes that game. That was his game. OG. He only sat down 2 minutes, bro. He's running into the ground already. That's the thing I'd be getting scared about Thibodeau.
Yo, check this out too, man. You got it. Like I said, the arms race in the East. You got to keep your eye on the Sixers, man, because they have a first and a second round. They have first, second round draft capital, and they have $100 million in expiring contracts. So look for them to add something too. I don't know I don't know what they would add right now. I mean, they have Tobias is playing a lot better, but look for them to step their shit up a little bit too. They have a lot of things they can do. So watch out for the Sixers, man. Tyrese Maxey's becoming a fucking star.
Yeah, man.
He's on that Brunson trajectory. You know what I mean?
They're trying to put him in the All-Star game, but let's talk about the All-Star game. Why are they playing JB, man? They playing JB hard body, bro.
because they play the Knicks, man. They don't want the Knicks gonna have to smack dudes in their face and to get their props, man.
Yo,
like they always play the Knicks, man.
He's
you know
outside the top 5 in All-Star voting. How?
But
I say he's cut.
He can still be a coach's selection, correct?
Huh?
Can he still be a coach's selection?
Yeah.
That's what might have happened. Who they have ahead of him in the East?
Okay, they have Halliburton.
Yeah,
they got Damian Lillard. They got Tyrese Maxey. They got Trae Young. And I don't know who's fifth. Over him in the East. I totally forgot that.
Is it Donovan Mitchell?
Donovan Mitchell. There you go. But I'm like, yo, he's been hurt half the season. Donovan. Trae Young can't lace up JB's sneakers. I see only Hallie because Hallie's having like all these 20.
Dame gonna get the starting spot.
Yeah, Dame is Dame because Dame is Dame, and Hallie because he be getting all these damn assists like it's John Stockton all over again. And then I'd be like, yo, JB has to be there, like third, right there.
I like how, but I put JB in there over him, and I put him in there over Trae Young. Even though Trae Young is nice, I ain't gonna front, but
I
this year I definitely put him over there. Dame, you can't,
Yo,
JB, I think Jalen deserves it over Tyrese Maxey, 100%.
Hell yeah, man. He needs to because, like, yo, man, I don't like they be giving him no calls. They just be letting him get hacked, and it's just mad annoying.
Yo, he's on a rampage this year. This entering this year, the man is averaging 29 points per game, 8 assists, 3 rebounds, 48.3 from the field, 36.7 from 3. 88.1 from the free throw line. They 91 in a stretch that he's been playing. What else do you want? Like, it's like I hate that they hate on the Knicks so much when it comes to All-Star voting. Like, people hate to see New York during the All-Star game. Like, I hate that. Yo, the last 2 Knicks to drop 5 or more consecutive 30-point games is only him and Melo, bro. Like, what else do you want? What if they say he don't have star power? I'm gonna give you a quick stat.
Let's take a shot for fucking Jalen Brunson.
Hold on, let me say this one little stat line. The last 5 games: 30-8, 30-7, 41-8, 38-9, and 30-4. Come on now, what else do you need? What else do you fucking need, son?
It's crazy.
Yo,
Jalen Brunson, bro.
I'm pissed off tonight. Then you got fucking. And as
much as I would love to talk Knicks all night, I'm a Knick dude. Let's keep it pushing, man. Let's talk a little bit of Big Blue. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk a little Big Blue, man. Man, listen. Oh shit! Like, there's a lot to unpack with the Giants right now. Since we last been on the ad, it's been fucking turmoil, man. Let me see if I could somehow cap it. Let's go back because we never got a chance to touch on it. So. A lot of things have happened in the Giant functional world, which is a little bit embarrassing in my opinion. Wink Martindale, they had beef during towards the middle end of the season. We talked about that. Dable and them swept it under the rug with the whole only thing me and Wink is arguing over is last slice of pizza. Y'all remember that shit, right?
Yeah, trying to
but then at the end of the year, it comes to a head. Boom, right? Martindale. There's reports that Martindale and Dable get into this big shouting match after Dable does some strategic shit. It's almost like you tried to push Wink out the door, fired the Wilkins brothers, you know what I'm saying? Which was Wink's guys. He brought them over here. He brought them over here from Baltimore. Those his guys. That was going to push them over the edge.
Hell yeah.
Hearing all these reports like, Wink was going behind Dable's back and superseding his authority, going upstairs to John Mara. You heard about certain spots in situational football. Dable wanted a certain way. He was, superseding his command and doing what he wanted to do. So hearing all this subversive, what's the word I'm looking for? Insubordination from Wink Martindale. You know what I'm saying? That's what you heard. Then he got mad. He slid off. Supposedly flew down to Florida. And we didn't know if he was, if he resigned or not. So everyone's a little bit mad at Wink. Everyone's like, "Damn, what fucks up with Wink? Wink, why is Wink bugging out?" Mm-hmm. Then you start to hear little reports about a little bit about Dable. Man, Dable's a little bit overbearing. Dable shitting on Mike Kafka, the offensive coordinator. Dable's, a terror. So we don't like. obviously we're not going to know the whole truth. We're just going to take bits and pieces and make and come to the assumption ourselves of what we want to believe, man.
Of course.
Honestly, it's embarrassing. Mike Kafka is supposedly looking for a head coaching position. You know what I'm saying? Dable, you're hearing his name in all these type. I'm sorry, Winky hearing his name in all these type of other teams. Recently, we heard the Eagles. That incest all the Giants fans. If he had the nuts to go down to the Eagles, woo, boy, you know what I mean? We got the new Carmen Brichello, our new offensive line coach from the Raiders. I mean, so it's just fucking. It looks dysfunctional. If you're the league looking at the Giants, it looks bad. You know what I'm saying? We still have the quarterback thing up in there. We still have questions about where we're going to be in the draft. We have a lot of holes. It looks like Xavier McKinney, Adoree Jackson's probably going to leave. We're going to lose a couple of pieces, gain a couple of pieces. Ed, I mean, Q, talk to me about the Giants, man. What are we talking about here, man?
Yeah, man. It's just bro, just doesn't look good, man. It's giving me vibes that, like, I feel like we're gonna have to start all over again. Like, and obviously we don't know the whole truth with Dable. We do know he's a good coach. We know he's a good coach, but now I'm starting to get a little wary of what's going on behind those closed doors in those facilities. And we just need so much. We need so much, and we don't have enough picks to get them. Like, we have a decent amount of picks, but there's too many questions, and it seems like there's not enough answers. And the NFC East, and thank God that the Eagles and the Cowboys imploded like the way they did. I felt like the Giants won the Super Bowl, but they're still a better team than that. We don't have a solid number one wide receiver. We're probably gonna lose Saquon Barkley because he's already talking like he don't want to be here, which is something crazy because he's always been saying he want to be a Giant. So obviously there's some shit that has got him feeling a certain way and giving the side eye to the Giants organization. We have the quarterback debate. We don't even know what we're gonna do with Daniel Jones, how he's gonna look when he comes back, and he's over here with one of the illest cap hits in the NFL right now. So it's just they really need it. The Mara and Tish, they need to figure it out. They need to stop the bleed before it gets even worse, because the next thing you know, we're rebuilding the team all over again. And then now we're gonna have to wait another 5-6 years before we have something decent and to look forward to. Because at this point, I don't see it. I don't see us winning more than 6-7 games this year, next year, unless miracles end up happening, because we're in the games, but we're not in the games. And like, we didn't even get to see Jalen Hyatt, develop. I feel the only thing confident I feel about is the defense. That's the only thing. But
that's crazy.
Like, that's the only thing I feel confident about. But we have no fucking offense. So if we can't score no points, like, we're not going to be able to do anything. We saw what happened with the Jets. They couldn't score no points, and they had one of the best defenses, and they didn't go nowhere. And their offense is better than the Giants, in my opinion. All they just needed was a quarterback. So, there's a lot of holes. They got to figure it out, and hopefully they do in this offseason, because we lost Wink. Now we might lose Kafka. It's just a lot. We need players. It's just stressful.
Yeah, man.
Let me ask you something. What do you think about the whole Dable Wink dynamic, man? Like, you hear about what threw me for a loop and kind of had me pause for a second was you hearing, the reports that came out after Wink left, that Dable like berades Mike Kafka, took the play calling away from him for a bunch of times, handed it over to the quarterback coach Tierney. They're saying he might be the guy to replace Kafka. But just the whole, Dable came here as this big smiley guy, and I know you're the CEO of a team. When you're the head coach, you got to run everything. But those reports are disturbing a little bit. What do you think?
I mean, it's always that this always happens when it comes to sports or in life in general. You never know what a person's true colors. And they show it when times is hard. So maybe he's showing his true colors. Last year was a happy-go-lucky season. He got to the playoffs, blah blah blah. He did this thing. This year, everybody jumped on their train again, and they wanted him to make a big splash like last year. I think that the whole ordeal of him letting go of Drew Wilkins and Kevin Wilkins, Doc's guys from Baltimore that came here with him, I felt that was a bad part of
it was a chess move.
Yeah, but it was a bad part of messing up team chemistry because I feel like if one thing, yeah, the Giants got scored on a lot, but that was like the best part of the Giants, this year. Their defense helped them win a lot of games. Their offense wasn't very
Towards the end, don't forget in the beginning they was getting blown out.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Towards the middle, towards the end of the season, their defense did pick it up. You know what I mean? And I feel like Kafka, I said it a couple episodes ago, I feel like Kafka should have been the one, getting a little bit more of the blame because he couldn't fucking move the ball. That O-line was horrendous. Like, it was just so much going on. But hopefully, like,
I cut him a little slack though, Ed, because Daniel Jones goes down,
mhm,
Tyrod Taylor goes down, the O-line is shit. You don't have a real fucking breakaway, create space receiver. Not really. You do kind of with
Waller and Waller.
And yeah, but you gotta cut him a little slack. Saquon goes down, so
I think ultimately just Dable was just trying to bring his own people in. Maybe he's playing that game, that Machiavelli role, being an asshole, so he could get everybody out of there and bring his people in. That's how I feel what they was doing at the end of the day.
Let me ask you this, Ed, then I'm gonna go to Q. So we got the 6th pick in the draft, right? You're hearing O-line, you're hearing QB, you're hearing receiver now, right? Which the latest Mel Kiper and a couple other people who do these mock drafts are basically saying it's going to be a receiver now. The names you're hearing is what is this dude's name?
Rome or Dunze.
Dunze, yeah, right.
Yeah, and Neighbor. What's his name?
Neighbors.
Yeah. Pardon me, I'm not like super a super college guy, but you hear like let me pull this shit up real quick.
I got the top 10 receivers here from college, but I'm just being realistic. We're not gonna get number 1 in Marvin Harrison Jr.
Daniel Jeremiah, NFL Media, says we're picking the wide receiver LSU, Malik Neighbors, right?
Malik Neighbors, yes.
Neighbors is the most explosive wideout in the draft, right? Then you got Dane Brewer. He says Ozune, the wide receiver. With his speed, size, and ability to play through contact, Ozune is a quarterback-friendly target with the tools to be a legitimate number 1. The Giants haven't had this is key because I heard this before too. The Giants haven't had a 1,000-yard receiver since 2018, and you know who that was?
Odell Beckham.
Right.
So, then you got Ozune, then you got another guy named Joe Alt, who's an offensive tackle, which I kind of see that. Then you got Ryan Wilson from CBS Sports. He's saying Jaden Daniels. I can see that too. A lot of Malik Neighbors, Daniels. One guy has Brock Bowers, a tight end from Georgia.
I like this kid from FSU from Florida State, Keon Coleman. He reminds me of like San Francisco's T.O. Like when he started hitting his stride, and he started like catching everything like that kind of T.O. Tall 6'4" kid. But
what do you think? If you're Joe Shane and Dable, are you going offensive tackle, right? Because you definitely need somebody on the right side. Maybe you shift Evan Neal over to right guard, right? You get a right because he can't seem to play that right tackle spot. We cool on the left side, we cool in the center too. I like the kid Schmidt. I think he had a good year. What do? You grab if you're Joe Shane, do you grab a receiver? Do you get an offensive tackle, or do you go QB?
I'll go QB, man. I'll go QB. The name that they've been throwing out there a lot, and I wouldn't mind having him in the Giant uniform is the Heisman winner, man. Jaden Daniels. Like, the kid, he balled out this year. So if I was Joe Shane right now and I'm on the clock, boom, I'll pick Jaden Daniels, man. I mean, I know we need offensive linemen because our offensive lineman was trash. We allowed 83 sacks this season. You know what I mean? The O-line, the Giants O-line gave up 76 sacks. They led the league, second most in league history, 6 games with 7 sacks allowed. So, yeah, we do need a O-lineman, but I feel like you can't pass a Heisman winner in Jaden Daniels, bro. You can't pass a guy up like that if he's there on the board for us. That's just my opinion.
Q, same question. You're on the clock right now. You're Joe Shane. You're Joe Shane and your Dable all wrapped into one. You're going OT. You're going wide receiver. You're going QB. What are you doing?
Well, wide receiver. I think we need. I feel optimistic. Like we know Daniel Jones isn't the best, but we all know you can be an average quarterback. But if you got people that can, score some points and catch the ball. Look at Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is a perfect example. He's not elite, but he's just enough to get good players where they need to be and move the team going. And I really feel confident that Jalen Hyatt is good. But if we have another double threat, because when's the last time we even had two good wide receivers? Like,
yeah, it was like what?
like, and we're gonna, yeah, and we're gonna lose a running back. So, I'm tired of them drafting O-line because that shit is just annoying. But to be honest, man, the Giants haven't really even drafted well in a few years. I think, in my opinion, like Saquon Barkley was like the biggest thing that they ever drafted in the last couple of years. So I'm not even confident that like what they're drafting and what they see is even working out, to be honest.
Yeah, I feel like Thibodeau was a good draft pick because he came on a little bit at the end of the season. But I agree. I feel like the last,
Thibodeau, Thibodeau was really good too. Yeah, I'm not gonna front.
But no, but I do agree with what you're saying. I feel like Barkley was like the last guy that would he came in the league and make an impact. Because Thibodeau took him a while to get his stride, into his stride this year.
I think they might tag Barkley again.
Oh, but I don't. He said he doesn't want to get tagged. He said it. He doesn't want to get tagged.
That's the rules. You could tag him again. You just got to pay him. Fair wage.
It's a little bit more money.
How about
he's probably gonna get tagged and probably start making. They're probably gonna tag him at like 12 million. What do you get, like 10.5 last year or some shit like that? 11.
Yeah. How about if the Giants like draft a running back out of nowhere? You know what I mean? Like, have they been looking at running backs? Anything?
Just that last year, Eric Gray, he didn't really light shit up like that. You know what I mean? So
yeah, because they got some guys.
Saquon is dynamic, man. Look at Christian McCaffrey, man. I think they're neck and neck.
Woof.
You know what I mean? So
McCaffrey, man.
Look how he is. He's a game changer. You see him. Even with his thigh or his calf hurt last week, he comes in the game and starts juking the shit out of niggas. He's a game changing running backs, bro. Like, so you almost gotta tag him, man, because you don't have. Let's say, and I kind of agree with you. I think they're gonna go wide receiver, and I think I've been waffling on this shit a little bit. I ain't gonna front, but like I first I said QB, but then you're still on the hook for Daniel Jones, and I just don't have confidence Daniel Jones to get the ball down the field. We saw the dynamic with him and Jalen Hyatt. It wasn't great, and you see even DeVito come in, a third string guy, come in and had a couple of really good games with Jalen Hyatt. So I'm like, Daniel don't look down the field. I feel like he got happy feet. He's always, and I know it's partly the offensive line, but you saw Tyrod Taylor and you saw DeVito kind of negate some of those issues that the offensive line has. But I digress. I think probably wide receiver. I'd probably go wide receiver, but you get a wide receiver, you still don't have a proven playmaker. How can you let Saquon walk out them doors? I understand the contractual shit. I understand what the market dictates. I understand he's disgruntled. I get all of that. How can you do that, man? I don't know.
I mean, I agree 100%. I mean, I wouldn't mind if they go wide receiver. You know what I mean? I wouldn't mind at all because I feel like that Rome kid, I feel like he's good. But the thing is why I'm leaning more Jaden Daniels, not just because he's just a Heisman guy, but he fits very well in that Giant system. Like, he just doesn't just throw the ball very well. He 40 touchdowns, 40 intels, you know what I mean? 3,812 yards, but he could run the ball. And, like Dable's system, the way the Giants are built now, they could use a mobile running back because all three of them, if you look at it, all three guys that started for the Giants, they all ran out of the pocket. You know what I mean? And this kid had 10 rushing touchdowns, 1,134, rushing yards. He's a deep ball. He has deep ball accuracy, elite athleticism, and he has pocket management. You know what I mean? So I feel like he'll be a good plus for us. And I don't know. That's just me. That's just me just thinking about the Giant system moving forward, whatever. But at the end of the day, I agree with you. I wouldn't mind getting a wide receiver. We need that. But
I would do Jaden Daniels too, and I think we spoke about this before. He probably would be available because who's the guy that's saying is going to go on? Caleb Williams. Hey, wait, we're not going to be able to get him, and Drake may probably not going to be able to get him. So Jaden Daniels would probably be the one available for us. Any chance they trade up? You think?
I don't think so.
Try to go for big dog, no?
Yeah, no, I don't think this is the type of draft that they'll probably trade up. And if they do go wide receiver route, they'll trade up to get Marvin Harrison Jr. Because if you get like a Drake May. Oh, you like Drake May over Marvin Harrison Jr.?
I mean, what is the so here's what we have to figure out. What do we need more? Do we need the playmaking wide receiver, right? Because we definitely need that. Because we have really other than Jalen Hyatt, and Jalen Hyatt is a speed demon. We get it. He could take the top off the defense. We get that. We get to see his route running ability. I feel like he doesn't get a lot of reps, and when he does, he doesn't get the ball thrown to him. He doesn't get that many targets. So, do we need a wide receiver with QB? That's the question. I think we need both. What do we need more? I'd probably say I'm off the Daniel Jones train, but again, we're paying him money this year, so I don't see. And I know he's hurting everything. I don't see maybe us getting a QB. But then what if we have a decent season and then we can't? I don't know. It's very confusing, man. It's very confusing, man.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with everything you're saying. I agree 100%. I'm just looking at it from like different standpoints. Like if we do get like this young kid, Daniels, I know you guys always mention T. Higgins is out there as a free agent. Mike Evans been looking to leave Tampa Bay, even though they made it to the playoffs. He's leaving. He's thinking about leaving Tampa Bay. You got Gabe Davis. He might leave Buffalo.
I don't want Gabe Davis. So
I'm just naming.
I've heard his name too. I ain't gonna front. I've heard his name too. Yeah, I've heard that Gabe Davis.
Odell Beckham's name's out there as a free agent, and he's always talking about he wouldn't mind having a reunion with the Giants. You got Tyler Boyd wanting to leave.
Pass on Odell. Odell hurt too much.
Yeah, all right. There's a couple of guys out there that you never know we could probably get from free agency.
Yeah, like if we don't draft a wide receiver, that's what I'm saying. If we don't draft a wide receiver and we go the quarterback route, the only three people that I would want is either Calvin Ridley, T. Higgins, or Michael Pittman.
How about Michael Thomas from New Orleans? He's good.
Brown from the Cardinals.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Mike Thomas is good. It's just I feel like he's been hurt the last 2 years, so it's like I don't and to be honest, I like Calvin really more because like just with him playing with Trevor Lawrence, it's just you see he's quick, he's catching and I've always liked him even when he was on the Falcons.
Yeah,
but he really balled out on the Jaguars. So either him, Michael Thomas too. Like Michael Thomas, like 3 years ago, I would have took in a heartbeat. He's like the reception king. He gets mad receptions.
Yeah, so we could use that if we had like this young rookie quarterback. We could use that. If we wind up prying away Mike Evans, like Mike Evans is the big dog we could use.
I like Mike Evans, but he
has 1,000 receiving yards every season for 10 seasons. Quietly, because people don't look at him like that. Like, if you don't watch football, people don't
get his touchdowns too. He's getting that red zone. But again, he's getting what is Mike Evans? 30, 29, 30?
I think he's 30, like 31, like 30, 31.
He's up there.
We got to draft the guy. I love Mike Evans. Don't get me wrong. I like Mike Evans a lot. Like, you know what I mean? Him and what's the other kid down there? He slowed down a little bit after that.
Goodwin, whatever.
Yeah, Godwin after that Achilles. Oh, he had the fucking Achilles a couple years back, right? Not the Achilles, what did he do? He blew out the MCL shit.
Who are you talking about?
Not a little bit, but when them dudes was at their height, when Brady was there, motherfuckers were sick on both sides.
That's why Baker Mayfield had a pretty decent year with them because that's still like the residue of that Tom Brady team.
He's a good glue guy. I'd give him a couple years, 3-4 year deal, 90 million, some shit like that. Nothing crazy. To me, he's not a franchise quarterback, but he did a job. He reinvented himself. Yeah. Right? Baker Mayfield was damn near out the league at one point. You know what I'm saying? So he invented himself, and he's been on a couple of teams. He's been at Cleveland. He's been on the
Rams.
The Rams,
Carolina.
Carolina.
He got his Super Bowl ring. I'm proud of him. But I don't think we need Odell. No shame. But he's already getting up there. Let's keep it a buck. But like for our future, like if we're thinking,
you're talking about
Baker Mayfield.
Odell, man, you wouldn't want Odell back. I mean, he had like a awkward year this year. He wasn't really hurt. He was gonna go over there and go crazy.
He was hurt.
Julio Jones, Antonio Brown,
both. He had a freak accident the last game. Julio Jones, that game. He just got popped and
we need some young legs. My bad. Yeah, we need some.
No. I agree. So how about T. Higgins from the Bengals?
I would love T. Higgins. I'm beating the T. Higgins drum all he was.
Michael Pittman is young too. He's only 26 years old. So
the Colts, yes. Michael Pittman, yes.
So we'll see, but it looks like we're gonna go through the draft. We'll probably go through the draft. I don't think we're gonna get T. Higgins, although I want him. Pause. I think Cincinnati's gonna find a way to
to retain him.
Somebody's gonna defer their money. They want them doing something to keep T. Higgins. How can you let T. Higgins go?
So how about Tyler Boyd, the third string?
Yeah, I see this free agent too. I just pulled up the list. So yeah, I'd take my chances to go in the draft before I do Tyler Boyd.
Damn.
I agree.
I mean, he's not a game changer like that. I look more into this shit, but suppose these guys are game changers, big, strong guys, with separation, physical guys. We need to do like that. That's gonna go up and get it.
Yeah.
Still make the catch. Like you saw you saw Stephon Diggs, one of my favorite receivers, big drop last week.
Yeah, man,
having that shit
big time. It's like, yo,
any last thoughts from the Giants before we move on?
No.
Nah, I'm gonna light a candle in church for them niggas.
You gotta get one of them Saint joints and put Eli on it with the Super Bowl trophy. You gotta get one of them shits like and looking up and draped like in the Jesus fit, like
do some Santeria on fucking
exactly some Santeria shit. Like, yo, let's do some shit, son.
On Nick Sirianni and Michael
Ooh, die Eagles die and the Cowgirls. Ooh, let's go. That was the best.
I never slept like a baby. Like that weekend, I slept like a baby.
Yo, when I saw the score of the Cowboys game, like I forgot about it, and then I checked the score, and I'm like, they're losing in the playoffs again. And when I saw the Eagles game, I saw that Eagles game from the beginning to the end that Monday. I think it was on a Monday at work. And I was loving it. Every tenant that came in, when I was at my job, I was like, die Eagles, die, baby. They were like, you really hate the Eagles. I was like, listen, what you got to understand, I know the older crowd hates the Cowboys because they hate the Cowboys when the Cowboys were good. When I started watching football, it was the Philly that started kicking the Giants' ass, like in the 2000s and shit like that. That's why I hate Philly. That's the Philly I know. I never saw the Randall Cunningham.
DO team.
Yeah, I didn't see the Randall Cunningham Philly. I remember Donovan McNabb, that Philly team.
Fucking Deshaun Jackson and shit.
Yeah,
that nigga was like a giant killer, bro.
You know,
Deshaun Jackson. That used to be my favorite player. Man. I fucked with Deshaun Jackson.
He was fucking nasty, bro. I remember.
I could be a Deshaun Jackson, man. A long, deep fucking threat.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That sounded crazy. I ain't catch that, so you're fucked up. But
it's the Henny. I'll be drinking the Henny again.
All right, look. So let's transition, man, because I'm getting agitated. Listen. Let's switch back to the NBA for a second, man, because we were talking about the East, the arms race in the East. And it's interesting because, the West, I say for the last 10 to 15 years, guesstimate, approximately, so to speak, the West has been just totally stacked. And then you've been top heavy in the East. Basically LeBron was running the East forever. A couple other teams here and there. A little bit of Celtics here and there, a little bit of Miami here and there. But for the most part, it was, all the LeBron Cleveland teams, the LeBron Miami teams. West is still stacked, but now the East is starting to get stacked, bro. And this year, when the Bucks got Damian Lillard, right? He originally wanted to go to Miami. He wasn't able to force his way there. He was able to pair up with Giannis. I was like, wow, great pairing. I was like, man, how can you say no to Giannis? I mean, how can you say no to Dame Lillard? But we all said this, that Drew Holiday is a big deal, big loss.
Hell yeah.
What type of guard he is? He's like a Marcus Smart, like a
Gary Payton,
Murray, any defensive guard, they're the glue on a championship team. You know what I'm saying? Even Grimes to a less degree. Everybody's gonna kill me when they hear that. But a Grimes, an OG Anunoby, those type of players.
Yeah.
I mean, when you have superstars, to be able to hold on to them is imperative. All right, so he goes. Damian Lillard goes to the Bucks. Right, we're all thinking, damn, they just got exponentially better. Adrian Griffin, right, long-time assistant in the NBA, former player in the NBA. Been in 1,000 interviews. Eric Griffin before this year was like the Eric Bieniemy, in my opinion, of the NBA. Couldn't get a fucking job. Couldn't get a head coaching job. Applied for 1,000 coaching jobs. No one would give him a shot. So Bucks give him a shot, right? Everyone's like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? Recently he gets fired. Now, but you think, okay, a rookie coach gets fired. Okay, we've seen this movie before, right? But here's the twist, right? When's the last coach got fired with a 30-13 record, right?
Shit, that's 70%, 70% win share, yo.
Yo, they're second in the East, bro. And they
Right.
were first at one point.
Yeah, they won 70% of their games.
They won 70% again, and I'm gonna go to you guys in a second, but I just want to say this. But when you peel the layers back a little bit, right, you start to see like what did Rick Ross say that Mayweather money looking funny in the light. The nigga started looking a little funny in the light. You kind of seen the cracks in the armor, and when I don't know if you guys remember, there was a game when Giannis didn't want to sub out. He refused to fucking sub out. He did that shit on national fucking television. You know what I'm saying? Balked on Griffin. You know what I'm saying? Right then and there. If you don't have the support of your superstar, you're maybe the best player in the NBA at this point right now, arguably. Right? It's between there's a handful of guys you can say that about. He's definitely one of them, right? Some will say the Joker. Some say Giannis. Some say Embiid. Those are like the guys that come to mind, right? Cracks in the armor with him. They reports that they didn't get along. Like I said, not wanting to sub out the game. Terry Slots, who was, former coach with Dame in the Blazers, but he was, a Dame guy. He gets hired. There was rumblings of him and Griffin beefing in practice. I heard some story like Stotts was talking to Dame and a couple of the players. And Stotts is liked by the players. So talking to Dame and a couple of the players, and Griffin barks on him in front of everybody, saying, "Get over here when the coaches meeting." He's like, "Hold on a second," and he barks on him again. So he steps down. Now Terry Stotts is a well-respected guy. So boom, another crack in the armor, right? Now Bucks went from the fourth best defense last year, right? On a thread, we said this. Remember, I was like, I'm not surprised yesterday. You said, "Oh, such and such got fired. Adrian Griffin got fired." I'm like, I'm not surprised that defense was suffering. You heard the rumblings. Bucks went from fourth, and I believe the 21st. Now, Ed, you could probably verify this, but at one point they were 25th, bottom of the league in defense. Giannis called them out.
This was after the whole in-season tournament meltdown.
Right. Basically said something to the fact where we got to be coached better, we have to defend better, we need better strategy. Now, who else could he be talking about? The head coach. Here's my question to you guys. Doc Rivers. I don't want to say I love Doc Rivers because I don't love anybody that ain't a Nick right now. You know what I'm saying? Doc Rivers is a championship winning coach. He's also king of blowing 3-1 leads, right? I thought he found a home in the broadcast booth with Doris Burke and all them. Not sure why the Bucks bring back Doc Rivers at this point. I don't, he had the Clippers, and I'm being a little long-winded, and I'm gonna give it to you guys. He had the Clippers, Lob City, couldn't bring them over the hump. Ty Lue steps in there, boom, first fucking year, the motherfuckers is in the conference finals. You know what I'm saying? Found a way for Kawhi and all them to coexist. Then he goes to the Sixers, dysfunctional. Had James Harden, had problems with James Harden, right? Beefing. James Harden leaves the Sixers, goes to the Clippers, and fits it seamlessly. I'm not saying Doc's a bad coach. Doc's had a rough last couple of years.
Decades.
Ed, were you surprised at the firing of this guy? And do you like the Doc Rivers potential? Did he sign yet?
Yes, he's a coach.
Okay, do you like the potential the Doc Rivers signing?
My thing is that it shocked me. It shocked me like it shocked everybody else because, like I said, he won 70% of the games. That's 696%. They 30-13, second in the East. So I'm like, okay, that's what we're doing now. We're firing winning coaches now. Like that's what we're doing. You know what I mean? Like that's what we're doing. Like really is. So that's why I was shocked. I get it, bringing in a guy, big star name like Doc Rivers, who has coach star power like Giannis and Dame, like has coached big twos, big threes, big fours, whatever the hell you wanna call it. He's a big name, big star coach. So I feel like he could control the locker room. That's one thing Adrian Griffin lost. He lost the locker room. That's what they've been saying. Giannis, like you guys said, if your star player is out there coaching your team for you, like I don't know if y'all saw the Heat game. There was a Heat game that he was coaching the team. He was like really negating what Griffin was saying. He's like, no, we do this, do that. You lost your locker room when your star player, has the respect of the guys better than you do. You know what I mean? So, like he said, Terry Slots stepping down as a Dame dude, you could see the cracks coming down. What was another one? I saw that. I saw you just mentioned it, Cash. There was a game I think against the Hawks that you could see that they were like arguing.
Yeah. When he refused to get subbed out.
Yeah, exactly. And then there was a game that they were up by like 20 and they lost by like 10. You know what I mean? So you could see Giannis being frustrated, the whole meltdown with everybody thought they were going to run away with the in-season tournament, blah, 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 blah. So you see it. But my little
Paces lighten them up.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Over and over again. Yeah.
My initial reaction was, like I said, I was shocked because I'm like, come on, the dude is winning games. But you know, now we in the NBA now. Is that if you don't respect your coach, you out of there, man. That's the league we in. It's all about the players now. So if you got your star player and he's the one leading the march and everybody else is following suit, bye. You know, on to the next one. I feel like Doc Rivers might, like you just said, Doc Rivers had a tough outing plenty of years. The only time he didn't was when he had the 08 Celtics, but he's coached the Magic with Tracy McGrady. He's coached the Clippers, you know, Lob City. Recently you had Giannis. I mean, not Giannis. You had Embiid in them. You know what I mean? So I want to see how this is going to work because of Doc Rivers' track history. But I'm like, damn, they should at least let Adrian Griffin finish off the season, man. That's, you know, let's just finish off the season.
Like Mark Jackson.
Oh wow, that's a big name.
Beating that Mark Jackson drum.
But ain't
nobody getting Mark Jackson, man.
Yeah.
Mark Jackson out of here, man.
Yeah, he's blackballed, bro. As much as we don't want to talk about it, he's been blackballed from the league.
Stand up for Mark. He's one of us. Stop playing. Especially.
Yeah, but you know, like even though he was a winning coach this year, I'm really not surprised, man, because I think as a Bucks organization, they just made a very big statement. I don't care if you're winning, but if you ain't got the players, you out of here. I don't care if it's midseason, the first couple of weeks. They got somebody in there because it just goes to show that they know that they have enough star power to get to the finals, but they got to get there too. And you need some good coaching because as much as Giannis is a great player, he can't coach a team as well. You know, like and I think Doc Rivers, it's going to be a shoo-in because you know he's already going to come in there with his head held high and the respect of the players. You know, so I you know, like he's a rookie dude. It's just like when you get a brand new job and you're the boss. You know, your team is gonna push you. You know, and you got to be able to push back and get them to fall in line because as soon as they running all over you, they're not going to play for you, and the organization is going to do something about it. You know, they don't just want to win the games; they got to win the important games, which is in the playoffs.
Yeah, and that's what the GM said too. The Bucks GM, he said that's what led ultimately to the firing, the urgency to win. And I'm like, but you guys are winning though, like. But I get it. In the long run, it's the playoffs that count. It's not the season because last year they were the number 1 seed and they lost in the first round to the Heat. So you know what I mean. That's what they let go of Budenholzer. And I thought Budenholzer was a crazy firing for the Bucks because he won a championship with them, and he's a well-established coach too. And I'm like, what are they doing over there? But
also look at Nick Nurse. He comes at dysfunction with Doc Rivers with the Sixers. Nick Nurse comes in and got them playing balling right now.
Balling.
Bad on Doc. I'm not going
shit.
You know what I'm saying? What do you think about Terry Rozier, guys, to the Heat?
I feel like they got better with that. They got a little bit better. You know, they got another scorer. You know, he's averaging 23.2 this season. You know what I mean? Like the kid, Scary Terry's a baller, man. He's a baller. He's a baller, bro. Like he's averaging 44.2 from the field, 30% from three. The three ain't him from three ain't gonna help the Heat because they're like, you know how Spoelstra likes to move the ball and have his guys open from three. But like when I think this is more of a playoff thing. When Jimmy Butler doesn't have nobody to step up alongside with him to get buckets, Terry Rozier is not gonna be scared to be alongside with him to get those buckets. And it was for who was it for Kyle Lowry? Kyle Lowry, he's you can tell he's slowing down. He's at the
man right now.
He's at the back end of his career. So I feel like the Heat won with this trade.
Yeah, I agree. And now it's just gonna be another team that the Knicks really have to worry about. Like, you know, and I'm still not too worried about it. I still feel like the Knicks are the better team, and you know, but if we don't, everybody else is making moves, and the Knicks better do something too because I really feel like we could make a push to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't know if we'll take the whole thing, but I think if we're clicking on all cylinders and we're doing what we got to do, we add that extra piece. Hopefully, we get either Mitchell Robinson back, but and if we could get both of them playing in the playoffs, we're gonna be such a problem for these guys. And then, but there's a lot of good teams out there now, like you said, Cash. Like and the East is they ain't no slouches, man. Like the first damn near 10 teams are fucking good. So it's like anything can happen.
Hell yeah, man. Wait, what's the standings right now? Now we're talking about the Heat right now. The Heat, where they at? They right under us. We 27-17, and the Heat are 24-19. So they there. The Heat always find themselves there, and then they find themselves charging up and sprinting into the playoffs and really going hard.
Shout out to my nephew Mambo and cute nephew Mambo. He's a big Heat fan, man. We gonna push that last.
Shout out to Mambo, man. Shout out to Mambo.
Play with me, boy. Yeah, they right there neck and neck with us, Cavs, Sixers. So
yeah, the Cavs.
I think from
this is where they're supposed to be. They're right in that 4 or 5.
But if you're looking at the standings from 3 to 8, that's gonna be fun to watch the rest of the season. I think. Because Orlando, remember, Orlando was like 4th, 3rd, like the beginning of the year. You always got to watch out with the Pacers now with Siakam. Miami, we talk about Miami. The Knicks, we hear all day, every day. Fuck everybody else. You got to watch out with the Cavs and Philly balling too. So,
and we going to that. We going to that game too, man. Knicks versus Magic. So we go. I'm going in there, Nick heavy.
Hell yeah.
Beyond the game. But I hope the motherfucker still could pull himself back together after Joel Embiid did him dirty and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, Joel Embiid, man. Oh,
nigga. Motherfucker.
Watch.
Welcome to the NBA, motherfucker.
You motherfucker.
Didn't he drop 70 on Wemby? He dropped 70 on Wemby, was it?
Yeah, he dropped 70 on Wemby, man. He just beat Wilt Chamberlain's record with the 76.
Yeah, motherfucker.
Yo,
don't play with me, boy.
But shout out Cat, and then Cat dropped 68.
Yo,
right? Was it 68?
What?
63?
I forgot.
63, it was 60 something.
I forgot.
Yeah, look. Can you look it up, man?
And yeah, I got you. And then you got
62. He scored 62.
There you go.
Okay, we both wrong.
And then you got the young OKC #1 in the West right now. They are balling out here, OKC, bro.
Oh man,
between them in Minnesota and
Gilgeous-Alexander, son, that dude is the roof, man.
Yeah, and then you got Chet. Chet is up there running for the Rookie of the Year. That kid Jalen Williams is balling. You got Dort to play defense. Josh Giddey's a walking triple-double on any given night. Josh Giddey, fuck all that allegation shit, but he's a baller. That kid is
that allegation shit is kind of crazy though. But
it's crazy. Yes, it's ridiculous. But like, I just want to focus on his game because that kid's a walking triple-double. He could get you 10-10-10 quietly, and you don't even know. You don't even look like he played, bro. Yeah, man, they got a good team. Man.
The whole West is the West is diesel, man.
Yeah, the West. The West is crazy too, because I feel like the West from #1 all the way to I'll say to 6. I'll say that between OKC, Minnesota, Denver, Clippers, New Orleans, and the Heat. And Phoenix, they could finish off because they're like a 5-game differential. 5-game differential.
Yeah, and don't think the Suns not gonna pull it together. I'm telling you, they're gonna get their shit together. Watch.
If they go
live dog, the Kings live dog, Mavericks live dog. Yeah, what'd you say? 1 to 8?
Yeah, I said 1 to 6 because that's a 5-game differential. But now that I'm looking at it deeper, you can't add Sacramento and Dallas, because that's a 6-game differential.
And LeBron and AD is balling. If them role players and them other players get their shit together, like they supposed to be doing, you know what I mean? So,
and that's crazy. And now you mentioned the Lakers. If they fired a guy like Griffin, how come Ham still has a job?
They're calling for Darvin Ham. No, they're calling for Darvin Ham.
That's crazy. But last year they were rooting for him. Oh no, he's our coach. But now they want off with his head.
Yeah, I don't like scapegoats and shit. You know what I'm
saying? Man. Who they want? Who they want?
Yeah, facts. But good NBA talk, man. We're gonna listen. We love talking New York sports, and we are the voice of the streets out in New York, Brooklyn, Queens, Bronx, Manhattan,
you already know.
Jersey, up Connecticut, Uptown. You already know we the voice of the streets. But it's good to talk. It's good to talk. Hop over that George Washington Bridge and go out of state sometimes and talk a little bit of NBA and NFL. And that brings me to our last segment, our last block. Yo, NFL playoffs, man. We don't have enough time to really go through all of them. So I want you guys to talk a little bit about some good matchups this week. We got this good matchup last week where we got San Fran against Detroit, right? San Fran, little bit beat up, a little bit of questions of Brock Purdy throwing the ball in the rain, and he looked a little sketchy. Me and Q was talking about that the other day. And then you have Detroit, Dan Campbell got them boys balling. They can run up the score on you at any time they want. So that's a really good matchup, man. If you had asked me 3 weeks ago, I'd have been like San Fran all day. Today, I'm not so sure. And then you got Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson balled out really in the second half last week because the first half the Texans was getting to him. I was like, second Lamar, that fucking pass rush was on him last week in the first. Q we was watching in my crib. You know what I'm saying? But the second half, Lamar became Lamar and said, nah, this is what I do. And he does Lamar doing Lamar things. And then you have against Kansas City, who I thought counted him. I thought Josh and Sean McDermott and all them dudes. I thought they had him. You know what I'm saying? Another loss by Josh Allen and Sean McDermott to Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid and them dudes again. Man, a lot of bonehead calls. We can get into that for a little bit. A lot of fucking bad coaching and bad plays on the part of Buffalo and some stops and some missed field goals. Man, I can't really blame Josh Allen all the way, but those 4 matchups, man. Which matchups intrigue you the most? And let me get your thoughts and your predictions. Q, let's go. Baltimore, KC. What do you think?
I think Baltimore takes that. I think it's gonna be a good game, but I don't think the Chiefs are gonna have enough. They still have a couple of holes. I think Patrick Mahomes he's just squeezing on by the hair on his chin. You know what I mean? But the game that I want to see is the 49er Lion game because after I saw what the Green.
I'm frozen. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you frozen.
I don't know what's going on. Go ahead.
All right, I got you. I'll be right back.
But after what I saw Green Bay do to the 49ers, I don't know. I feel like Brock Purdy hasn't been the same player after he took that ass whipping from Lamar Jackson. But I really feel like the Lions can pull out the upset. But overall, the 49ers, in my eyes, is the best team overall. But if Brock Purdy's not playing like Brock Purdy did at the very beginning of the season, it's going to be a long day for those guys because the Lions are no slouches. They got defense. They got dudes who can score. So it's going to be very interesting to see. I think that's my game that I really want to see because I think the Lions could take it. But, we're going to have to see what type of 49ers team we see.
Yeah, and Debo, supposedly Debo's I'm hearing he's playing, and I'm hearing he's not, and I'm hearing he's 50-50. I can't see him not playing. But they got some ballers, man. You know what I'm saying? Jennings, Ayuk, Debo, he's got the shoulder problems. McCaffrey came back in the game, balled out, but they're a little bit banged up. Kittle. How could I forget Kittle? Absolutely. But they're, like I said, they're a little bit banged up. Forget about on defense, they get busy. But they're a little bit banged up, and I didn't see. I saw some chinks in the armor last week, man, especially with Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy was having an MVP type of year, until Lamar went and just took it from him, to be honest with you. But, yeah, I listen, I wouldn't be surprised if the Lions win. Gun to my head, I got to go 49ers, though. You know what I'm saying? Gun to my head. I think Ed's having some issues. Let's see. We got him back?
Yeah.
Ed, there we go.
Oh, all right.
There we go.
Yeah.
Hey, you're gonna have to do some crafty editing on this one, all right?
I got you.
49ers, Lions. Q said he wouldn't be surprised if the Lions win, but I think we both said gun to our head, we'd probably bet the house on the 49ers, right?
Yeah, I was hearing y'all. I was just off. I was off trying to fix my issue here. But I listen. When it comes to the Chiefs and the Ravens, I got the Ravens too. I want the Ravens to go to the Super Bowl. You know, I know Cash, you've been on Lamar Jackson. Me and Q, we've been right there with you. You know, he's having a great season. I feel like I'm like you said, the Chiefs are hanging by the edge in the chinny chin chin. I feel like their luck is over. That's it. They magic carpet ride
to get it done. That's the crazy shit about that.
They always do. They always find a way. That kid always finds a way. And even with no damn receiving core, because he has no damn receiving core, they trash that receiving core. Like
they got like Cherie Rice and like Rice is all right.
No household names though. Like no household names that like, oh yeah, but I haven't.
Pacheco.
Pacheco. He's like their lead in Russia. He's like their lead in Russia.
He's nice.
Kelsey too. If you're talking about receiver, he's pretty much a fucking receiver. He is a fucking receiver.
But Kelsey's been having like that. You know, he's too much with like he's too much up the Swift skirt right now for him. He's not focused on football. He's got
that Taylor Swift effect.
You know what I mean? He's second in receiving touchdowns, but he's in love right now. So he knee deep in the pussy. So
Cole Hardman is
He's a space ghost. Kadarius Toney, no hands.
Fuck Kadarius Toney. We still
Kadarius Toney's trash. I'll be surprised if they bring it back next year.
He'll be a great player, man. He just I don't know. Anyway.
You know what I mean? So I feel like I got the Ravens on that one. I got the Ravens. I think that's it.
Let me ask you this: do you think Lamar? Who's more pressure on? Lamar. Right, because he has the big contract. Because he was hurt all these years. He said he couldn't win playoff games. He finally wins another playoff game as the second play. Even I don't believe all the bullshit. And do you think that he has to dispel all the running quarterbacks can't win and live up to the big contract? Do you think there's more pressure on him or more pressure on, let's say, like a Brock Purdy or just because he's Mr. Irrelevant and actually not even Brock Purdy. Let's say
Goff.
No,
Mahomes.
What's the coach's name?
Their coach, Harbaugh.
No, it's 49ers coach.
Kyle Shanahan.
Was more pressure on him or Kyle Shanahan because he keeps getting to the the championship game and not coming up successful.
I think they both have pressure because if you look at the Ravens, if you look at Lamar already got played. Didn't he win the Heisman? Lamar, he won the Heisman with Louisville. No, right?
No,
right. So, he had a great year in college. They played him. He was like the fourth. There's quarterbacks that shouldn't. He was in the same draft as Mahomes as Allen, but he's the third best quarterback in that draft. And they drafted Josh Rosen over him. I feel like he should have been drafted way over Josh Rosen. But I feel like there's pressure on him and this team because it's been this.
Yeah, Lamar did win the Heisman. Yeah,
I feel like he got disrespected ever since he's been in the league, and he's been balling out. So I feel like there's some pressure on him now that he's there knocking on the door to go in the Super Bowl. But when it comes to Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers, they have immense pressure because they have a bomb squad. They have CMC, you know what I mean, that he's MVP candidate. They have a crazy wide receiver and tight end core. Their defense has been top 5 all year. They have Mr. Irrelevant Brock Purdy, who's looking like, Joe Montana out there all over again.
Last week he didn't.
Last weekend, he only had 252 with a touchdown. You know what I mean? He had to come back.
In his hand, hiding the ball, looked sketchy, looked scared, in my opinion, right?
But I'm going to transition into this. Like, I feel like the 49ers, they better come ready against the Lions, man. They better come ready against the Lions. The Lions, they're a great team. Campbell coached that team very well this year. And like Q said, they have some beast on the fucking defensive side. Hutchinson, Hinish and Jones, those guys are the sack leaders right now in the playoffs, man. They're like with 3 sacks each almost. So they better come ready. And Goff has Super Bowl experience. He lost badly to the Patriots that year, but he has great Super Bowl. He has what? He's thrown in the playoffs 564 yards, 3 touchdowns. Then you have the running back duo threat in Gibbs and Montgomery. You know what I mean? You got St. Brown, like they are coming into play. Like I picked Ravens and 49ers for a while now, but my heart is riding with the Detroit Lions. I'm getting choked up because my shit is. I'm riding with the Detroit Lions right now. I'm on the bandwagon, son.
Defense, though, man. Chase Young. How the fuck did Washington let Chase Young come? I still don't understand that shit. Hargrave, Bosa, they got that fucking
No, Fred Warner.
Yeah, Warner. Yeah,
Not that
fucking.
they got Chase Young and Boza. Oh my god! But you know,
They will get in your ass, boy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just so.
that game is gonna be fun. I feel like that's the one. That's the game that's gonna be fun.
I think if the 49ers lose, they're gonna be under the microscope.
Yeah, man, they got
100%.
They got a squad. They got a squad. Is that the Detroit Lions right now for me is such? I'm a sucker for a feel good story, for that underdog story. You know what I mean? These motherfuckers haven't been good since 1991, bro.
This ain't a one-off. They're here to stay. Like,
yeah,
here to stay. Detroit.
Yeah.
You know,
and you know what's crazy too? You know what's crazy? What I found, I didn't know Dan Campbell was on that 0-16 team, and now he becomes coach and gives them that. This is the 30 for 30, bro. This is 30 for 30. I see
he's a former Giant too, isn't he?
Was he? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, he was on the Giants.
What? Holy shit! Look at that. Even with more power, want him to more winning now.
Okay, fucking Lions haven't been good since Home Improvement days.
And yet they're always on Thanksgiving, even when they suck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right.
Is man? Is Barry at the games and shit, or?
Yeah, he be there now. Now that they more winning.
He
always goes back and shows love. He always goes back and show love.
Here's my prediction. I'm going Baltimore, but it's not a super confident pick because Andy Reid and Mahomes, man, the motherfuckers come up with ways to win, man. If they're hard to kill. But I'm
always there.
That Baltimore defense is sick too. And I'm going 49ers, man. With or without Debo. I know it's a big hit, and I know he's that shoulder and everything, but yeah, I gotta go 49ers, man. I got defense, and I just think Kyle Shanahan is a really, really good fucking coach. Not to say that Dan Campbell isn't, you know what I'm saying. Jared Goff's probably a little bit better than Brock Purdy, but I think Brock Purdy will bounce back. So I'm saying Ravens and 49ers.
49ers
in the Super Bowl, man. And we'll get more in depth. We'll break it down. I think maybe if you got some time, maybe we hop on after the game and really break it down, because I would like to get more in depth in, but we coming up on our time. So
yeah, I'm always down for that. I'm always down. But these 4 games, I feel like this is gonna be some of the best conference championship games in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to be biased, but I'd be like, this is some of the best conference championship games since the Giants won the Super Bowl the first time around against the Patriots. I think it was the 07-08 season. 07.
What did they play in the conference finals? I mean, the championship game. They played.
I know they beat the Bucks. They beat
the Bucks, and they beat
Green Bay.
I think it was the 49ers.
That's the second one. I'm talking about the first one. The first one, they beat the Bucks, the Dallas Cowboys, and I remember the last throw he ever threw as a Packer was a Brett Favre throwing that insult to Webster. So I'll never forget that.
I think wasn't Aaron Rodgers there?
No, he was on the bench. I think he was already a rookie on the bench. He didn't start yet. But that was the last throw.
In 07?
Yeah, I'll never forget, because that was the last throw he ever threw as a Packer. Interception to us, or Brett Favre. The next game went to the Jets.
Did they beat him in the second run?
And they beat the 49ers in the championship game.
Yeah, 11. Oh, against Kaepernick.
Yeah. They beat Alex Smith. They beat Alex Smith.
Yeah, it was Alex Smith.
I
think Kaepernick. Didn't he replace Alex Smith that year?
The next year, because they went the next year. They went all the way the next year. He went like 9-0, and then his first loss was the
Super Bowl again.
Yeah, the Super Bowl was that year for Kaepernick.
Yeah, that was the Ravens 49ers Super Bowl. That was when the stadium, the blackout and shit blacked out for like 45 minutes.
The blackout bowl.
So they beat that second one. They beat who?
They beat in the NFC Championship. They beat the 49ers.
The championship was for it, but they also played the Green Bay again that year.
Mm-hmm. They beat Aaron Rodgers that year, right?
Yeah, they beat Aaron Rodgers.
That
was the year they beat Aaron Rodgers.
But I'm just comparing these championship games to the 08 championship. I'm like,
I just had a brain fart. That was all.
Yeah, because that was a crazy game between the Packers. Even though the 49ers and Giants NFC Championship, that was crazy too, because that was right down to the wire. We wanted about field goal or some shit like that? That was right down to the wire. The fumble on the kick return, all that shit was ridiculous. So this is gonna be good. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be good football this weekend.
You know when this come out, you know what time it is, right?
Yes, sir.
Time to get got it. Yo, I want to thank you guys for watching. We will be back live
Word.
Friday.
Call in.
Call in. We're going back to the callers, man. You know what I'm saying? We're doing a lot for you guys. You want to talk your talk, you want to talk your shit, you want to chop it up with your boys, call in, man. You know what I'm saying? Tell me what you think, tell me what you feel, tell me if I'm wrong, tell me if I'm right, whatever. I don't give a fuck, just call me, you know what I'm saying?
Word up.
Call me. Call me. Call me.
All right. Ain't no Tyrone here, but y'all can call in. Another great episode, guys. I want to apologize to everybody because I'm fucking shot. You know what I'm saying? Like I rolled out of bed to do this episode, so I'm a little off.
Hard working men out here, man.
We had to get back on because it's been 2 weeks. Since the dynamic, the dream team been on the airwaves. And we appreciate you guys tapping in, man. So, yo, you taking us out of here, Ed, or what?
Yes, sir. Yo, shout out to everybody showing us love. You know, we're here to stay. Like we always say, the realest and hardest sports show on these internet streets. The voice of the streets. That's what I'm talking about. The voice of the streets. With that being said, for anybody showing hate towards DST, you only get half a ball. SMD. Salute, brother.
I don't know. See y'all Friday.